Hello? Is this thing on? Okay, it is. We are live. What's up, everybody? Happy New Year's. So today we're going to be doing some live casts of a new mod that we're working on. Let's see. Let me get some music going. Get right into it. That classic. Here. Oh my god. Going. That working? No. Damn it. Okay, there we go. Now we got it. All right, so let's get right into it. Let's see. So on the right, we got Brown Ranger in the purple playing as core. Oh my god. And then above him, we have Cool Nick, the God of Winds, playing as yellow, and playing the Arm faction. And we also have Sawyer playing in that tan color, also as Arm. So both factions available to that team. On the left side, we have Tarmunka playing in the blue. And we have Tar Smokester in the white playing as core. And Lon's saying to Vapor here in the red, solar? What is going on here, my brother? Maybe Vapor's, maybe he thought it was a solar map and then realized it was a wind map or something. Once he started seeing his allies making wins. I don't know. Could have been Benadrylled out of his mind. Who knows? What is going on here, my brother? Why you make solar? And why is Kudik is also making a solar? What is going on here? I don't get it. All right. Pull up the chat here. And so yeah, me and the Tar group have been working on a new mod. Which will be different than how ProTA plays out. And the more test versions we release, you know, the more different it'll get over time. But so let's see. Like Lon's just going for those vehicle cons as they have a little more speed to get to those mexes that are farther out a little bit faster. K-bot. And it looks like Brown Ranger's doing the same. Koenig also going vehicle. It's a pretty big map, so I see a vehicle for the most part, but I mean K-bot is still viable. Yeah, everybody going vehicle, which I think for this map that's a-okay. So we'll speed this up a little bit. So I believe this game is on the first version of our tests. So as you can see, so let's take a look at what the options are. So levelers are back in T1, and if you look at ARM, this is Vapor's perspective, but if you look in the, oh, he doesn't have a K-bot. But in K-bots, they have warriors. So we brought the warrior and the leveler back to T1. Okay, lots of gators and flashes coming out from the west side. Cool Nick doesn't really have any units at all, just going all cons, kind of leaving it on Sawyer to defend here, although the west side's not really pressuring just yet. But it looks like, as I say that, Smokester is going to go in, test the waters. Also, the map here is Tar Dual Gap, which is basically a Supreme Commander remake made for TA. And honestly, it plays awesome in TA. So, okay, first things first is we're going to turn those game sound all the way down. Okay, so Smokester and Vapor going in. He's going to snag a con there. Good rating from Vapor. Pulling units up here, sending some more units over here when units get distracted up here. So you can get some damage done down here. Good distraction tactics. Also sending some units through the little roundabout here. Trying to get into the backside of Sawyer, but Sawyer's sending his commander up there. Is he going to get there in time? Oh, he does, just barely. So Sawyer's going to scare those flashes off. Vapor smartly pulling back. But meanwhile, it looks like Cool Neck held off the pressure from Smokester, but Smokester still snuck a couple of these gators by. But that will get cleaned up by Sawyer's Jethro's. And tons of reclaim left on their side, but also good damage done. Cons are dead. He almost took out a lot of mexes and resources, so let's take a look at what everybody's making here. Here's the overview. Let's take a look at what's going on in the water. Looks like a Brown Ranger, the Stranger, is pressing forward with some searchers, and Mr. Lawn's going to match that. And he's pulling some of his Skeeters, and that should force Brown Ranger to retreat here. They actually have very similar numbers, but Brown Ranger needs to regroup his units. Going into advanced vehicles, so we did change Tritons and so we take a look at Tritons here. I guess they're Crocs. The Crocs and the Tritons have been changed to, they actually have a lot more speed. So in ProTA they actually have an insane amount of health, but they're not as fast, so they take a long time to traverse the map. So we actually gave them more speed, and by giving them more speed, I took away a lot of that health away. So maybe we'll see some Crocs this game for some harassment on the land, maybe. Meanwhile, Monka getting big in the water. Trying to get those Crusaders out, mixed in with those Skeets. Just see what... Okay, so Brown Ranger's got his advanced C. Maybe some Warlords. Can't see what's going on. Not sure. But yeah, a lot has been changed. Okay, so here's a new unit from Smokester. We got the Ravagers, which is basically like a can on wheels. Yeah, it'll have that green laser. Make sure. Okay, we are. So yeah, Sawyer trying to put some pressure on, but it's going to get thwarted away as those advanced units are pretty tough. Okay, lawn getting big. Also, another thing we've changed is so with ProTA escalation. Honestly, I think every mod out there, they all kind of use the same progression with mohos, which is they're relatively cheap. Where with this mod, we made them more near the OTA value. So that will slow down the progress of the game by quite a bit, actually. You won't be able to scale as quickly, so you might actually see more units in play. Not as much stuff will get skipped. Okay, we got Bulldogs out from Sawyer, and he's getting an ambusher out to kind of press this forward push of missile towers that Smokester's got going on here. I like what Vapor's doing here. He's got a mixture of shooters and Mavs, so mixing up units to deal with certain types of, different situations. He's going to use these shooters, kind of far back to just poke and prod the army, and then if anything gets close, the Mavs will pump that DPS. So yeah, nice little surround on the Bulldogs. And Smokester's pressing upward to kind of try to collapse on it. He's spotted the ambusher, but he doesn't really have an answer for it. So honestly, I think this ambusher alone will probably thwart off this push for now. Meanwhile, Lon is really putting the pressure on in the water here. Oh my goodness. Oh my god. Oh my god. And yeah, Brown Ranger, he's in trouble. He doesn't have advanced K-Bot, so there's no Gimps available to him. He does have one Warlord out. Warlords have been changed a little bit. Their laser doesn't have as much range as they do in ProTA. Honestly, this Warlord might just be enough to hold off this push. Oh my god, it's... Oh, that Warlord's so low. And it looks like there's a sub in there too. That might be from, yeah, so these are Brown Rangers subs. Fortunately, for some reason, can't see what's going on underwater. I don't know why that is. Dot sonar didn't seem to work for me. Meanwhile, Lon getting big. Already working on that advanced air to start those Hawks. And he's going into subs himself to deal. So best way to match is just match what your opponent's doing. Okay, looks like Kunik, he's going into them Lugers. So it kind of seems like Sawyer and Kunik's strategy here is to kind of just hold this choke and maybe try to explode on Eco and then maybe like burst out of here later. I mean, this like Mav Zeus combo is pretty nasty. Look how fast those Bulldogs die. Smokester trying to use the speed of the Ravagers to wrap around and harass. Probably trying to sneak them by in the back, but couldn't quite get there in time. Well placed HLT from Sawyer. Yep, we just started How to Appear. What's up, man? Happy New Year's. Let's see here. Hey, Vapor, he's going to start the Mohos. So yeah, so since the Mohos are a lot more expensive, it really does kind of require a rec field of sorts to kind of pay for those early on and boost your economy. Which, honestly, I kind of like. It forces fights more often. Yeah. Monka almost got his fusion online. We'll probably convert that energy into metal with a maker. Looks like he's expanded with air cons to this center aisle. Great place to make BrzTAs to harass your opponent on the opposite side. Brown Ranger ecoing up himself, trying to get his mohos going, and he's going into advanced K-Bot now, which will give him access to those Necros for build power and some Gimps. Looks like he's going for an Intimidator on the edge. So this can hit basically all the way to about right here. A little bit of sub-warfare going on, but pretty much going to stalemate out there. And Sawyer seems to have, they've broken out of the choke, and now they're the middle is free game. Seems like they're finally getting a nice little push going. Great combination of units here. Bulldogs for that tanky front line, with shooters behind them, using that range. Type sonar. Yeah, I already did that. It doesn't work for some reason. Might be TAF related. I heard Axel did an update and the sonar stuff isn't working properly, so could be that. I don't know. I'm not sure. So yeah, nice push from Sawyer. Let's see what Koenig's doing. He's just massing stumpies. Typical Koenig stuff going on here. Sawyer's making energy storages, so we did make shooters cost more energy to shoot, so actually getting some good use of these storages to basically store energy so you can fire these shooters without having to worry about tanking your energy so bad. Looks like Brown Ranger's got a nice group of warlords here, which will eat all this stuff. I'll eat all that up, but it's like Monka coming in for some air support, and they have no anti-air. I'm sure after they see this, they'll start making some mobile flak. And it looks like also some amphibious support from Mr. Braun. It's wrong, getting absolutely huge, going into nukes now, and it's like Vapor's gonna go start the fusion chain. So basically, you do like these fusion chains to make energy, then you convert them into metal with these makers, and that's basically how you scale your economy. So another thing we did, we added Vipers to T2 for ARM. So this is basically a T2 lightning turret. And then for core, we moved the emulator up to T2 as well as a flamethrower turret for T2. So now ARM and core have their own basically like T2 light defense. Oh, you like this? You like the heavy flow? You like that heavy flow, huh? I do like this as well. Some people are pretty grossed out by it. So there's this map I made called Heavy Flow, and I'm sure you can kind of figure out what that means, you know? So it's Some people were kind of disgusted by it. So every time they see this this color, because I used this tile set for that map as well, they don't particularly like it. But honestly, yeah, this tile set's beautiful. It's one of my favorite tile sets for map making. Huge push here from Coolnick and Sawyer, but these Annihilators plus the Vipers from Vapor, and now we got some Doomsdays going up for Smokester. It should be enough to hold this. Maybe, I mean, we'll see. If you can get the Lugers on the Annihilators, that could be problematic, but a nice mixture of ranged and close units. Vapor's got this peeper stream going in for vision for his Annihilators. So doing this kind of like peeper flyover is very good for units with like shooters and sumos, anything with long range, to just constantly give your long range stuff vision to fire. Okay, looks like a Smokester building levelers from T1. These are actually surprisingly, this is like a pseudo T1.5 unit now. The levelers and the warriors in strength. Yes, this is the BrzTA mod, yeah. So Lon giving his teammates some naval support with these Conquerors, and Brown Ranger getting those Crocs in there. Epic. But unfortunately driving him right by the ships, which a lot of them get peppered up by the depth charges, fortunately. Coolnick getting into the water, and he's starting those Colossus farms to get that energy going. Take a look at Brown Ranger. Okay, he's starting to mass nukes. But does he have the energy to support it? Where's all of his energy at? Just wins? Just wins. Oh, here we go. Here's some fusion. Meanwhile, let's take a look at Monka's base. He's got his third nuke on the way, so he's storing up some nukes. I think the biggest difference between Lon and Brown Ranger here is Lon's definitely more active with his units, constantly helping his team, and also the air support is huge. Like, these Hawks are great to cover your allies, since you can just fly right on over. We got Berthas from Lon. 54 kills on this thing. And I mean, yeah, I mean, Lon's just crushing it. Really kind of bailing his team out on this this push that Coolnick and Sawyer had going. And I mean, Vapor's starting to get pretty huge. Like, the fusion chain's pretty insane. Not sure. I mean, Coolnick's got a lot of eco in the water. Sawyer, lots of wins, but doesn't really have the fusion chain going yet. And to be honest, since Sawyer had to put so much into kind of defending both of them early on, like, it doesn't surprise me that he's a little bit behind on eco. He did have to put a lot of metal forward to kind of cover Coolnick in a way early on. So, and yeah, this like stream, this peeper stream with the shooters, just nasty. Absolutely disgusting. Which mod? This is a new mod we're working on. It's, people call it BreezyTA, but I don't know if I want that to be the official name, but so I'll be casting a couple of these games today. This is on the first test version, and then I'll be casting some on the second one after this. Smokester going into Intimidators. And Vapor, he's got T3. So Arm does have T3, and there are multiple units on each side now. So we have the Mad Cat, we've got the Vaporizer, and the Krogarth, aka the Harambe, this is the equivalent to the Krogoth. So it looks like he's going to go for the Vaporizers. And I mean, this push is pretty disgusting from Vapor. See, once you get like this shooter ball and it's so hard to, it's kind of hard to stop it. It snowballs very quickly. Yes, the heavy flow. You want to see the heavy flow? Ah. It's disgusting. And I believe I talked to Lon in this game, so Lon was overshooting his BrzTAs to actually hit. See, he's hitting his opponent's Intimidators using overshooting. We'll take an overview. Yeah, Vapor's got a really nice push going. I'm not sure they can stop it. I mean, holding this choke is probably their best chance. Looks like Vapor wants to get these shooters on the high ground, maybe to shoot down from up top on the hill. Good positioning. Although Koenig's got Hawks now, so those could take those out if they go up there without any anti-air cover. So, oh my god, the Vipers are in way. So it's the new lightning turret. And Koenig's going for a BrzTA. I mean, he's got this pretty hunkered down with all these ambushers and Annihilator. This is going to be hard to bust. Oh, we got the Vaporizer out. And so yeah, we try to make sure like the T3 units aren't too strong. Like I still want mass T2 to be powerful. So none of these units will be stronger than the Krogoth in terms of strength. So oh yeah, see, that gets focused down pretty quickly. These T3 units will need more support. Oh, Lon's firing a nuke. Here it comes. Where's it gonna land? Oh, that is disgusting. Oh, all that defense is gone. That hurts because all those ambushers were basically what was keeping this push from going forward, so... I mean, yeah, Lon's absolutely huge. Looks like Brown Ranger's firing nukes, but they're going to get stopped by Lon's antis. I don't think the top side on... I don't think Koenig and Sawyer are ready for nukes. At least not in this forward spot. They don't have any nuke coverage here. Honestly, a great nuke from Lon. I mean, he's really helping his team on the top side with the air cover. But, I mean, Koenig and... They do have a chance to pressure from the water, although we need some sea flak. Where's that sea flak at? Need some sea flak to deal with all this air, otherwise you're not going to be able to do much with these warlords. Oh, I love these things. It has level 3. I don't think I'm going to go beyond level 3, but we are adding level 3 to both sides, yes. So currently there are 4 units in the T3 labs on both factions. Okay, we should be back now. No, I'm sorry guys. I think it's on my end and I'm not sure. It could be the YouTube server that I'm connected to. Could just be my connection too. I gotta figure this out. Let me try thing here. Okay, so hopefully that... Oh man, my connection... I think it's my connection, guys. Man. Not sure what's going on. Okay, well, I don't know. I guess I just have to stream it. It's unfortunate. I'm getting DDoS, guys. Somebody's DDoSing me. Let's see. Looks like Hival has... Smokes are going to put some pressure on both players here. Looks like Hival wants to test the waters. See what Vaughn's got going over here. And honestly, he should be able to snag this last Pee-wee and get some free cons. Oh my god, Hival. I'm sure Mr. Vaughn's like, oh my god, oh my god. Better so far? Okay, I mean, that's good. Maybe it's dropping less. And before, I mean, it could be. It could be. It could be Windows screwing me over right now. Yeah. Like, you want to update Windows at the worst time possible? Sure. So yeah, that new pink looking stellar, bro. One of my favorite colors. Got a good push from Hival. I mean, the thing with attacking both players in a free-for-all is, you know, then they're both going to attack you. So, you just have to keep that in mind when you're playing a free-for-all. Since Hival's kind of poked both bears here, it looks like Monk is stockpiling Pee-wees to do like a counter push here. Hival is going into Crashers, so he wants to use those long-range missiles to kind of like kite backwards. Happy New Year's, Big Daddy. Good to see you. It's been a long time. Looks like Smoke's just gonna push back, and he's switching into Jethro's. So I assume like he's kind of just like forfeiting. He's gonna hold this whole area down with Jethro's using that ring. And I think his focus is more on C, which is good. There's a decent amount of metal in the C, and then you can start your tidal farms. And it looks like Mr. Ron is also in the water, kind of doing the same thing, getting his geos up, converting that energy into metal here with these floating makers. I think Hybel, he did so much pressure early, made so many units early on that his eco is kind of hurting a little bit. Definitely needs some more construction workers, sure. Going into a second K-bot, maybe to pump out some warriors. So warriors are basically, they're back in T1. It's kind of like a pseudo T1.5 unit. Yeah, there's a lot of big changes in the mod. It'd be kind of hard to go over everything, but I'll do my best. So one of the biggest things is in Escalation and ProTA, Mayhem, basically almost every mod, the mohos are relatively cheap and quick to make. So it gets to this point where like taking the map becomes kind of irrelevant. So with this, it's kind of be the mohos will take more time to build, and they will also be kind of more around the OTA value. So I think at the current moment they're set at 1250, where the ProTA one's at like 750. So big difference there in how quick you can scale up your economy. So that change alone kind of changes the game a lot. So we reverted a lot of the units back to their original spot. So like warriors and levelers are back in T1. So Arm K-bot has an advantage since they have warrior, and Core Vehicle has an advantage since they have leveler. And those are both basically like a pseudo T1.5 unit, which also like, so say you're massing T1, but then somebody rushes T2 on you. You have a T1.5 type unit in the T1 lab that you can make to kind of hold your ground somewhat versus T2. Because usually once T2 comes out in Escalation and ProTA, like the T1 units become pretty much irrelevant, which I want units to have some kind of impact and relevancy to the game even later on. So that's gonna be one of our goals for this mod as well. But yeah, lots of balance changes, lots of we got Crashers versus Rockos. Yes, there are underwater moho mines. All that stuff's in the game. You got underwater moho mines, underwater moho. Actually, they're floating advanced makers in the water now. So instead of them being underwater, they float. Kind of like their T1 version. Solid harassment from Lon here. Getting in the back line. He found the some of Smokester's tidal farms, but good move from Smokester. Kind of getting behind Lon's units, so he can't retreat back to his base. He's kind of like, he either has to move forward or kind of just like try to snipe as many of his titles as possible before you. Okay, so here come the warriors. solid cleanup of that that DT'd up MT forest. And I mean, Lon's kind of getting pressured from both sides. He's making Fidos. So Fidos are all Fidos have also been changed. They're kind of like a mid-range unit kiter. Also, I think one of their biggest strengths is they can climb over terrains like hills and kind of harass you through hill terrain. So that's kind of their role now. Which units, Logic? The warrior and leveler? So there's been units to fill that hole in T2. So there's quite a bit of new units in the game. So we moved warrior leveler back to T1 and then replaced those units with 2 new units in T2. So you might see them this game. We'll see if somebody makes them. So yeah, these Fidos would be great with like Jethros. They have similar range. So kind of like this mid-range kiter unit. See, does sonar work this game? No. Hyvel finally getting in the water, but I mean, Lon's already got like MTs building around here and stuff. Kind of funny. I don't think he's paying attention to that. He's really focused on this land push here. Oh, this is pretty scary from Smokey. Yes, Raphael, that's what we're going for. We want it to be as OTA as possible, but we want to add things to the game, if that makes sense. So we want the economy, the way the economy scales, to be as OTA as possible. So that's why we made the Mohos more close to the OTA value. We did a lot of math on it. It's still worth to make them, even at that cost. So kind of works out perfectly. And it slows down the pace of the game. I feel like ProTA, I mean, it's not like a bad thing. It's just different, right? ProTA scales really quick. Everything happens really fast. Personally, I like it when it's slowed down a little bit. So that's kind of what we're going for here with BreezyTA. Okay, so he's making some arcs. So this is basically the warrior replacement. Yeah, I feel like they should float just like their T1 counterpart. It makes sense, you know? So he's got a nice mixture of arcs. So this is like an advanced EMG. Basically like the Pyro equivalent. And then you got Fidos to kind of give you that mid-range behind them. A solid unit composition from Lon. The Lon's pressing Hyvel on the land while Smokester and Lon are duking it out on in the water. The biggest drawback? Well, I mean, that's all kind of, it's kind of just personal preference. Some people like the faster paced gameplay, and I feel like some people might not like the Moho changes, which is fine. I mean, that's why there's different mods. So I can see that being a good thing, but some people might not see it that way. So But personally, I like it when it's a slower progress because you actually get to see people fighting over the map more when it's that way. It's basically like how I see ProTA is like you just take enough of the map to get T2 and then you just make mohos because I mean they're so cheap and easy to make. You don't really need to take more of the map, where this we kind of want to promote more map control, promote aggressive play. Some people might like that, some people might not. So yeah, these warriors, since they're like T1.5, they won't do too bad versus the arcs. The arcs will still win, but at least you have something in T1 that can be kind of useful later in the game, if that makes sense. So like you'll still see people making like warriors out of a T1 lab, and they will contribute to the game because of their they have good DPS. Also some drawbacks. Some people might not like having T3 units in the game. But the thing is T3 units are in the game, but it's only for one faction. So it's like it's just a bit imbalanced. I mean, Smokey, he's got this nice title farm, but Lon's got these Pels. I don't think Smokey was ready for those just yet. There's attacking going on everywhere. I feel like Lon's getting doubled on a little bit, which doesn't surprise me. He's the most experienced player in the game, so he's most likely going to get hit. Smokey trying to pressure Lon at the same time he's getting attacked. I mean, this is a big... a lot of Navy here from Lon. And he might lose all of his titles. Oh no, Smokey. Smokey! But, I mean, he's pumping these Pels out like fleas, so he might be able to hold this off. But at what cost? Gonna lose a lot here. Hive trying to harass Lon now too. But yeah, I don't know. It's kind of hard to say like draw, because I don't think either mod has like drawbacks. I just I think it all just comes down to how you want the game to play out, and everybody's gonna have a different preference. So yeah, that's one thing. So the more expensive mohos will definitely affect those like small raiding maps for sure. Probably the most, because you have very limited resource. So it'll actually be better to take the map than going into mohos right away. At least fight for some reclaim. That way you can use the reclaim to make mohos, right? So yeah, see, the Warriors are actually not doing too bad here. Also, there's some shooters in the back helping, of course, but... But so far, I mean, just from watching this, there's just a lot more mixture of units going on, you know? It's, like so many different types of units are being used, where sometimes ProTA doesn't feel like that. Not always, but just... Yeah, there's stuff going on everywhere. Oh my god, who's got a BrzTA? Lon's got a BrzTA here. Let's see, can that... Let's see what that can hit. So that can hit both of their bases, pretty much everything. That's a pretty good spot for it, although definitely exposed to... hopefully he can protect it from there. But yeah, I've been trying to get okay, Hyvel's going into Pyros. We can kind of see how Pyros work versus Arcs, maybe. Although it looks like Lon's switched into Mavs. Oh no, he's making Mavs here, but he's still making Arcs, so. And this is a big death ball of Pelicans from Smokey. And he's heading... Oh no, he's heading in this direction. I think the BrzTA might be in trouble here. Oh, excuse me. Oh, I think he's trying to snipe his comm with the BrzTA. Let's see. Oh yeah, he's low. Run, Smokey. Cloak. Oh my god. Smokey playing with fire right now. Yeah, I think Hyvel's main problem, at least in this game, was he just doesn't have enough workers to kind of keep up with the other two. He went for a lot of units early on, and when you go into that many units very early, it does come with a price, which means your eco won't be as good later. But yeah, he just honestly, he just needs more workers. Like this lab just be on cons to kind of help him rebuild, because every time he takes damage, like, he doesn't have enough cons to kind of like bounce him back into the game, if that makes sense. Oh, we missed the BrzTA got sniped from the Hawks and the Pels. Nice push here from Smokey. He's gonna take out this Annihilator too. I mean, looking kind of scary for Mr. Ron. Let's take a look. Okay, so he does have one line, you know, a couple lines of titles in the back. I don't think he's converting. Oh, he does have some makers, so he is converting most of it. So, I mean, Hyvel, he's doing good things with what he's got. He just needs, honestly, I feel like if he just mixes more workers into his game, he'll do a lot better at keeping up. I think I've talked to him about that, and he knows that's like a thing, so. Yes, we have, Raphael. So one thing we did do with the T2, so like in ProTA, the main pushing units like Zeus's, Cans, Bulldogs, Goliaths, Sumos. We basically took all of those main pushing units that you basically see every game. We lowered their health by a good bit to basically kind of make so other units can come into play, because they're just a bit too strong everywhere, and it kind of makes it so the other units don't really get much playtime. So we reduced the health of basically all of those big pushing units by a good bit. which will also make T1 a little more viable still. Because I think the main thing with like escalation and is the T2 units just have way too much health, so it kind of makes the lower tiered unit basically unviable. It's literally just a waste of metal. So if you lower the HP by a good bit, kind of brings some use to T1 back, even in the later stages of the game. Workers, yes, construction units, yeah, for workers. Sorry, it's a StarCraft term. Oh, Mr. Lon, he's making the Vipers. I love seeing this. Although, I mean, there's just way too many units here, but cool to see it. Yeah. Lon saying, "Oh my God," because he's getting, he's kind of getting the, he's getting a sandwich going on here. But I mean, this push might be game ending from Lon. I mean, this is pretty nail biter game. And that is a lot of pyros. So yeah, Lon's gonna, I think he's pulling back. He's a little worried about that push. Rightfully so, it's pretty scary. Smokey, I mean, yeah, losing all those titles really hurt, you can tell. He's just not able to pump out as much production as he was before. And, I mean, this pushes basically everything Hyvel has, so... But yeah, we'll be looking at all the T2 units. So we're going to be looking at every unit and kind of adjusting them. So I just want to see a little more variety in the game. That's all. Like different units being made, not just the same like Zeus and can spam type games. Which so far I feel like this showcases that pretty well. Like we've got Mavs, we got Zeus, we got even T1 units are still being made. Build power, yes, build power is basically the third resource. Tons of reclaim here for Smokey, and it looks like Lon's getting some of that reclaim tax as well. We're kind of at a stalemate. Oh, we got subs from that we can't see for some reason. Gosh darn it. This dot sonar doesn't work. Oh, there we go. What's that? Still doesn't give me vision. Unfortunately, Morty's not so good versus Hawks. So, I mean, maybe if Hyvel switches to Jethro's out of this lab, he could do a little Morty push with some anti-air mixed in. So yeah, as we, release more tests, we'll be slowly adding in, we're going to be adding in more units to the game to kind of give it more depth as well. Yeah, yes, exactly, Raphael, exactly. And I think it's mostly due to how much HP those units have. They're just too strong all around. So like taking the HP away kind of fixes that issue. Do all mods buff T2? Yes. And I think what I'm trying, my point is it's buffed to a point where it's too much. They're way too efficient. And I think the biggest one is health. Mr. Ron going for the kill. And I think he might just do it with his Hawk support. Smokey does have one Annihilator up. And he's getting DTs around it. I mean, if he can surround this with DTs, this push will fizzle out, but... will he get it? It's low. Oh my god, no! Mr. Ron! Yes, Hawks and Vamps were the king of they were the kings of OTA. And honestly, they still kind of have that power. It's been nerfed a little bit, but they still have most of that strength. But okay, so Lon went T3. Sec. Alright, sorry about that. Oh, and the vaporizer, it's almost done. Oh, and these subs are kind of wrapping around the back to Smokey now. Uh-oh. Yeah, I mean, Smokester, he's hanging on by a thread right now. See, I mean, Hyvel's kind of starting to rebuild, though. Yeah, I feel like he was just so crippled early on, he hasn't been able to... Although his titles haven't been found, so he does have actually a decent amount of economy. He has about as much as Smokey at this point in terms of energy. It's actually not too far off. Oh my god, these subs. Wait, what's going on here? Oh no. And Mr. Lion, he finds his comm. Oh my. He found his commander. Smokey. And the vaporizer is complete. I like how Juan's spamming fleas. I actually don't mind this because fleas you can basically use fleas like these, right? Like how we talked about the Peeper Scout. Kind of use fleas the same way. Same thing with like Jeffies and weasels. You can just spam those things and use them for vision and basically a distraction target. So like units will fire on those instead of the units they actually want to be killing, which are probably like, you know, anything else. So yeah, Hyvel's in some big time trouble. I don't think he has any anti-air. He does have flak, but it's way back here. These Mortys will actually probably do pretty decent versus the Navy. Oh yeah, make it rain. Oh, that vaporizer's putting in work. Racking up the kills. Yeah, I think Eifel's basically overrun at this point. Oh, he's making the wolves, which is basically the this is a new unit right here, the wolf. Basically a Fido equivalent. Oh, looks like my playlist switched to Witcher 3 music randomly, but yeah, it's actually kind of chill. I actually like Witcher 3 a lot. And I think this is the end for Hybel. He's gonna go out like a Giga Chad, de-gunning his way. Dies with honor. So, GG, well played to Lon, and I mean, great game from you guys. That was pretty action-packed back and forth. Honestly, didn't know who was gonna win, because I feel like if Smokey and Hybel could technically like work together, they had maybe a chance versus Lon, but Smokey getting killed by the subs threw a wrench in that. So. Well played, Delon. Now, how's the stream? It's still lagging, guys. I feel like I'm still getting drop frame. Watch this one. This will be the last game, and then have to take off, but hopefully you guys enjoyed that some TA content. I know it's been a long time since I've done anything, so hopefully I can get back into the... Feels kind of weird actually doing this after such a long period away. But I mean, this is kind of what I've been doing though on my downtime, working stuff. So glad I'm able to showcase some of the stuff we've been working on. So we got a 3v3 on Gentleman's Reef. I believe this is a... Is this a subcom? I think this is a subcom remake from Fag Rock. Okay, so here's me in the purple, or not purple, pink. I have Hybel down in on the bottom, playing as purple, and then I have a Smokey in the white. So 2 core, 1 arm for Team East Side. I have Enter playing in the new light. I don't even know what kind of color. Maybe like a seafoam blue. You'll see it's actually, the units will be like bright blue. Then in the newest test version, actually fixed up a lot of the colors so they pop a little bit more. You'll see in the test version, this color is really going to just stand out and pop. Then we have on here, bottom side, who is green? Green is Snake. Kind of a slow up. Speed it up a little bit. So right now I'm just making some cons to go take the extractors around the map. Enter and Smokey are getting into it. Fighting over these mexes that are kind of close to the center. I like this, trying to get this forward sonar. He can kind of keep track of basically all of Smokey's movements with this so far forward. So you can even see like what's coming out of the lab, if a con's going down this way, etc., etc. It gives him a lot of information. Smokey sniping the sonar. It's like Snake and Lawn are building up their skeeters on the bottom. Maybe do a little double team on Hival. I'm not really making many skeeters as I kind of went for the lane. But I'm starting to make them now. And I am sending them down to Hival because I think Hival is saying that 2 bottoms, so I switched into units right away. This landmass in the center is going to become very important in the later stages of this game. Looks like Minter, he's already got some cons in the back. Trying to keep them out of... Keep it away from this base as much as possible. So like even if he does lose this forward position, he might not look back here for his economy. So trying to keep his economy out of a dangerous way as much as possible. Start the tidal farm. Snake's doing the same thing. Really started tidal farm, but I did rush to the center a lot faster. Snake has. Oh, I call him Lon because it's basically like his other alias. So I think that was like his first alias online was Lon. That's why I call him Lon. But it's like I'll try to just call him by what his in-game name is though. So Monka is on the land, and basically me and him are going to be competing for this landmass, and it looks like Snake's up here too, so this is a little problematic for us. But Hival's, oh wait, Hival's also on the land, so it's got like a nice little 2v2 on the land. Looks like we kind of won this reclaim. Although I mean they have more, so I'm might be a little distracted. Yeah, exactly. I mean, there's only so much time, you know. I devoted a lot of my time towards this. I'm glad I'm able to, you know, at least showcase. I actually got a decent amount of games played now to showcase and stream, so hopefully we can get some more games played and we can cast some more. Have fun with it. I'll be casting ProTA too, probably the tournament stuff, but for the most part it's going to be BreezyTA. Hival's in trouble here. He's got a lot of searchers. I'll do my best, be doing my best to help him out, but fortunately I don't have a lot I can really help him out with at the moment. Smokey, oh, Smokey's got a big push here. Stuff. Oh, he's getting real low. About halfway. So oh, that's where he went. He went to the center. That's right. Oh, this is a lot of peewees from Lawn. Or Monka. Trying to help Ivo hold, but I mean, he's pretty much lost everything in the water. Maybe he can make a sneaky shipyard down here. But fortunately, it's on me now to hold Lawn off. Sick D-guns from Ivo there. That was juicy. 18 kills on that. 17. Absolutely disgusting. Yeah, Lons, he's getting into my economy, which really does hurt. He's killing a lot of my titles. And, yeah. I mean, I will be able to clean this up, but I did lose a lot of energy there. But decent amount of reclaim here for me. Now I'm fighting Snake and Lawn in the center. And Smokey's getting double teamed. Wait, what happened to all of his searchers? He had such a huge... I didn't see what happened to Smokey, unfortunately. I'm not sure. But now Minter's in the center. Got some arcs out, but yeah, I mean, I lost basically all of my metal here. When they're getting into the tidal farm, no, Smokey. And I think Minter's got a sub, or somebody's got a sub here. Who is it? Is that Smokey subs? Okay, these are Smokey subs. That could be dangerous. Smokey was able to at least hold off the Skeeters, which leaves us a lot of reclaim. So yeah, we're kiting with the Jethros, trying to get the arcs in close. Lots of reclaim here for me. Minter's going to Samson's to kind of match my Jethros, range for range. I try to collapse on that and take the fight while the numbers are small. And start getting too close to this MT, so I gotta back up here. And I mean, lots of reclaim in my front doorstep, but I mean, I've taken so much harassment that I don't really have a lot of build power. Trying to harass Monka, but just don't have. There's not enough. I've lost most of my units already, so the situation in the center is not looking good for Team East. You know, it'd be really good here. Some Fidos. I wish I would have made Fidos. Because they're great when you're in this like defensive position, right, where you're trying to be efficient and kite, because you have multiple enemies. Fidos would be really good in this position. But unfortunately, I go for shooters, but then shooters are actually too expensive energy-wise to make at the moment, so I go Zeus's instead. Man. Yeah, if I would have went Fidos here, 10 out of 10. Starting to rebuild in the water, trying to re-get the the tidal farm going. I mean, honestly, economy-wise, we're not doing too bad. The even game. But, I mean, it's a tall order to try to 2v3. I feel like we need Smokey to kind of match Minter with the Calm Walk, but you could start building maybe back here. Because a 3v2 in the center is going to be kind of overwhelming. That's why I think if I would went Fido's here, all I need to do here is just hold this. I don't need to win, I just need to hold so we can win, at least win the water. But yeah, so poor unit choice for me, decision making. I mean, Zeus are fine too, but like honestly, this situation that I'm in definitely would be better for Fido's. Their economies aren't good. Yeah, there's a lot going on, so I'm getting hit from 3 different sides. Hyvel's trying to do his best. I mean, he took a lot of harassment early, but he's got a nice push in the Navy going, so I feel like we're winning the water, but we're losing the land. So it's kind of on me to hold. So my team can cook in the water, but... yeah, these are just going to get D-gunned. Nice D-gun from Minter. Let's see, if these were Fido's, he wouldn't be able to really stop this if these were Fido's. Because I could just kite his... I try to switch into Mavs to maybe possibly snipe his comm, but... yeah, he's at half health. Honestly, if I would have waited for 2, maybe 3 Mavs there, I could have possibly killed him, maybe. Yeah, now they're going down to Hyvel, and Hyvel doesn't have T2. This Navy's push is strong. I think Smokey... I know he has subs, we just can't see them because of the sonar thing's not working for some reason on TAF at the moment. So yeah, right now I'm just trying to do my best to hold. I don't know, will it be enough? I'm not sure. Trying to get as many HLTs around as possible to help, but as you can see, I'm pretty stretched thin. Trying to harass Snake, getting into his economy. I don't think this is enough Skeeters to really do much. I think we need Crusaders. Take a look. What am I doing? There's a lot of searchers. So yeah, I like this light blue.